guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you happen to be new, my name is Dana. I would love for you guys to stick around, hang out. If you decide to do so, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I would love to have you. Today's video is going to be a super simple kind of walkthrough tutorial, really talking about the 3 key products you need to achieve a flawless complexion. I'm actually teaming up with Sephora.com on this one, which is so exciting because honestly, I'm on Sephora.com. I don't know how many times a day. They make online shopping super easy and fun. So if you're curious about any of the products that I'm going to be using throughout the video, be sure to check the links down below. I'll be sure to link all the products. But yeah, if you guys would like to see how to create this look, then just keep on watching. The very first step is going to be to prime. But obviously before all this, you really want to make sure that you have a good skincare regimen down. Now, for me personally, just because of the skin type that I have, I am more normal to slightly dry. Whenever using a foundation stick, I feel like I get the best overall appearance whenever I really prep my skin with some sort of face oil, especially on my drier area. So that tends to be kind of like right between my brows. For whatever reason, my like unibrow area gets parched, and then around the sides of my mouth, just because with aging, I feel like I get a little bit more fine lines there. So I really like to make sure that those areas are really moisturized even prior to priming. So for that, one of my go-to face oils, this is the Tarte Maracuja oil. I'll really just kind of press this in to those areas that I mentioned earlier. So sometimes my chin, but mainly right here, and even some on my under eyes. I really like this just because it does hydrate and moisturize the skin, but it doesn't leave your skin feeling super greasy. So if you find that your skin is like mine and you have those drier patches, I highly recommend going in and just kind of doing like an extra punch of moisture with the face oil. As you can see, a lot of it has already absorbed, so don't worry about having like a super greasy layer before your primer. So for my primer, I believe this has been in maybe 2 monthly favorites so far. This is the First Light Priming Filter Instant Complexion Refresh. I love this one. As you can see, it has this really pretty lavender tint to it, and the lavender really helps to diminish any dullness. I know there's also prickly pear flower in here that's supposed to help kind of refresh and revive, and it has some sort of crystal technology along with spring water, and that just really helps kind of hydrate your skin, kind of give you that really nice glow from within. I love that sort of look. So I just do 2 pumps. It has this really thin kind of like gel-like moisturizer texture. Feels so good. So once again, I really like to concentrate first on the areas where I have the most dryness, and then I'll just kind of drag it out towards the outer perimeter of my face. Now, if you're someone who's suffering more from like a really oily skin type, I know Becca makes a mattifying primer as well, but honestly, if you go onto Sephora.com, they offer so many different brands with a million different primers. So you can go through categories and then just filter out through primers. And I believe you can break it down from like smoothing or anything like that. Now that my face is all prepped and ready for foundation, oh, I just hit that zit. That one is so painful. Don't worry, we're gonna cover it. This is the foundation stick from Sephora. This is the Make No Mistake Foundation and Concealer Stick. So basically, if you double up on this, it kind of works as a concealer as well if you really want to go in and concentrate it on certain areas, which I will probably be doing with this zit right here. So I have mine in the shade 6 Hickory. I believe all the names are kind of like after wood. So it's just a retractable foundation stick. What I really like to do is kind of warm it up on the back of my hand first, just because I feel like that warmth really helps to kind of spread it out more evenly. Sometimes that top little layer, like if you haven't used it in a bit, needs just a little bit of additional heat. So I'll kind of just go in and dot it on. Honestly, you can use a buffing brush, you can use a beauty blender. I really like to use a beauty blender because I feel like the moisture of the sponge kind of helps to blend out the foundation even more. A beauty blender is just my favorite tool when it comes to buffing in any sort of foundation. Well, I guess most foundations. Sometimes there's ones that work better with the brush, but most of the foundations that I use almost always work with a beauty blender. So this foundation does come in 16 shades. It retails for $20. Online, it says that it really works for all skin types. It does dry down to a matte finish, but I don't feel like it's overly matte where it makes like any of my dry patches look drier or give me cake face. Plus, in Texas's humidity, I just feel like it really lasts well throughout the day. So here is one side, well, I guess just my cheek area with one thin layer. Now, if you're wanting more full coverage, you could definitely go in and add some more coverage. I'll show you guys that kind of on that zit that we mentioned earlier. I really like the fact that it's in a stick, because if you don't go in and apply like powder on top, which I probably won't. I'll most likely set my under eyes, but everywhere else on my face, I kind of just leave the foundation as is because it does dry down to that kind of natural matte finish. But here in a minute, we'll go back over this zit so you guys can see how you really can build it up to a full coverage foundation. For the zit, I'm really just gonna concentrate it right there and not try to blend it out too much. See? I feel like that redness pretty much went away. Just to add some brightness onto the under eyes, I like to mix these two products. You can find both of these on Sephora.com as well. I will be sure to link all the products down below. First, I like to go in with the Urban Decay Color Correcting Fluid. This is in pink. I feel like this really helps to add some brightness. I've used pretty much all of this concealer, which I'm excited about. I love whenever you finish up a product. It just gives me this like sense of like, I did it. Now, this is the Sephora Bright Featured Gel Serum Concealer. I have mine in the shade 3 Fondant. I love this one. I feel like the name is perfect. It definitely is like a gel serum formula. As you can see, this one has a little bit more yellow in it. This really helps to add brightness, especially on the under eyes because it's not drying or heavy whatsoever. Super lightweight, but it still provides coverage. So I'm just going to press this into my skin. Sometimes I like to get my finger first and pat it in and then go in with the damp beauty blender after. So kind of like a triangular shape and then just pushing the product right in. I really like to go against the fine lines in my eyes first to kind of fill them in and then drag the product back out, because I feel like if I start this way, it kind of just covers like the outer little, that sounds gross, like bumps, but it doesn't go in and like fill in the actual fine lines. So that combination mixed, I love it. I feel like it just adds like an instant like lift and brightness to my under eyes. And then one of my go-to blushes lately has been Benefit Coralista. I love this one just to add a really pretty kind of corally beachy glow to your cheeks. I'm just gonna go in and pop some of that just onto the apples of my cheeks. I always like to add a bit to my nose. Now for the third and final ingredient, I know that I've gone in and kind of done concealer and blush, but honestly for me, I feel like there's three main like key ingredients when it comes to creating just a flawless complexion, and that's gonna be primer, foundation, and then your setting spray. The setting spray is really gonna lock in the look that you just created. Plus, if you have any areas that may be a little bit too powdery, I feel like the mist really helps to kind of just dissolve that, not like take it off your face, but it just melts it right in and gives you that really nice, like flawless canvas. So another reason that I love setting spray though, not only to really lock it into place, I feel like it works great to really amplify a highlighter. So this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, long lasting. I know they do have like a dewy version, and then there may be a mattifying version as well. This is actually the very first setting spray I ever used. I don't know how many bottles of this I've gone through. It used to be a white bottle with like purple writing. I think it said like All Nighter and like a paint splatter. I loved it. It's obviously the exact same product. In fact, I feel like this packaging is prettier, but this is the same setting spray I've been using for years. It just has a really nice even mist. So I just like to go through and spritz it all over, especially like right here on the areas where I'm going to apply highlighter. I really kind of like to saturate those areas just because, like I said, just somehow like really amplifies your highlighter. This is the same one I've been using for so long now. I know it's ridiculous. If you go onto Sephora's website, they actually have this one as well as I think Moon Dust. This is Stardust. This is by Ciate London. So I like to just go in with a brush and I will just pop this right onto the tops of my cheeks. I've really been liking to bring it down a little bit too right here on top. I just really like the look. I have chubbier cheeks, so I'm just like, why not just bring them out for the world to see? Then at the tip of my nose, I like to do a little bit up here above my brow. And then my Cupid's bow. Whoa. Girl needs some chapstick. But as you can see, with 3 simple products, it's really easy to create this kind of flawless, glowy complexion. I love it. Honestly, all 3 products too really make your makeup last all day long, and I feel like that's important. If you're gonna spend all that time to apply the makeup, then you really do want it to stay in place, because otherwise, like, what's the point of putting it all on? But yeah, if you guys are curious about any of these products, I will have them all linked down below. Be sure to check out Sephora.com if you guys have any other goodies that you're looking for. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.